Well, I thought I'd give you a little intro on this one. 4 of us had planned on hiking the North Boundary Trail a few days ago. 9 days on the trail, it would have been a great hike. And then about a month ago, I got an email from the Jasper Park office telling me that the bridge over Twin Tree Creek was closed, probably due to flooding, and that it was illegal to try and cross that bridge and subject to up to a $25,000 fine by the park superintendent. I'd also read that a woman had drowned there years ago trying to cross the creek in that spot, probably before they had a bridge in place. So I started looking for an alternative and decided to hike the South Boundary Trail. So tomorrow, a friend and I will drive to Jasper National Park. We'll leave our vehicle in a parking lot just off the Icefields Parkway and then take a 3-hour taxi ride up past the town of Jasper, east to almost the town of Hinton, then south to the eastern trailhead just outside of Jasper National Park.
They make everybody cover their cell phones with that used to be trained and then look at some traffic. Just hope it's the right route so we don't have to turn around.
So it's Sunday afternoon. It's actually just raining a bit. We're at the trailhead a little bit earlier than we thought we might get here. So we're just going to hang out for a few minutes and then we're going to start the hike. I'm here with my buddy Trent and we're here all week. Try the meatloaf. So we're just coming up where the trail veers off to the left. It's about half an hour of walking from the trailhead. You can see the diamond marker up ahead and the trail goes through these boulders. The road in, it was getting a little bit greasy from the rain, so hopefully this will be better to walk on. We'll see what it's like. Nice little meadow that we've broken out into. Straight ahead is Cardinal Pass, Rocky Pass, whatever you want to call it today. We've reached the switchbacks heading down to the Cardinal River, and then we're going to have to cross the river. And then begins the climb up over and through Cardinal Pass. That'll be the Jasper National Park boundary, the east boundary. We're on the climb up to Cardinal Pass and we're getting there, we're getting nearer. The sky's getting lower through the trees, so that's good. Wow, that kind of sums it up. Cardinal Pass. So we're getting closer to the actual boundary of Jasper National Park. I see a sign up ahead. Well, a little rain is good for something. We're heading down into the Medicine Tent River Valley and our campsite for tonight. This is the junction with the South Boundary Trail, so we've officially reached the South Boundary Trail. Came in from Rocky Pass, and I think we have about 150 meters to go to Medicine Tent campsite. We have arrived at the campsite. Looks like somebody else is here tonight, so we'll be sharing the campsite right along the Medicine Tent River. So we've happened into the lap of luxury here with our new buddies from Edmonton. They arrived before we did, of course. Got set up and got a nice fire going. We're just putting water on for dinner. This might be an early night, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, we're gonna do a wrap on day one. Nice ending to the day. Didn't get started at the trailhead till probably 2:30. Had a great ride from Pebocton Creek Trailhead over to Rocky Pass Trailhead with Jeff from Sundog Tours. So thanks, Jeff. So longer day tomorrow. I think it's about 20K. So we'll call it a night and we'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. Day 2, Monday morning. And looking like a nice day right now. It was a cool night. A little bit of ice crystals on the tent this morning. We're about to head out. It's about 9:30 in the morning. Going up over Cairn Pass. Looking forward to the views. Hopefully the weather will cooperate today. Off to La Grace. Is that a bear scratch?
I think it is.
This is a tributary stream coming down into the Medicine Tent River. So it's a chilly start to the morning. This looks like a spot where the river has wiped out the trail. We're gonna have to find where the trail resumes, somewhere up ahead there. So here's a good example. You're coming through the rocks here, and there's cairns. Just watch for cairns. And then there's another one here. And then there's another one up ahead, which I think is where the trail resumed from before the floods. This is a sign that we're nearing the Warden cabin along the Medicine Tent. So we'll stop at the cabin, I think, for a short break. Looks like about 52 Fahrenheit on the front porch. And what a view from the front porch. So once again, watch for cairns. So we've come to a wide gravel flat here. So we're just coming up to La Grace campground. We're going to stop here for a few minutes, a little bit of a lunch break, and then we're going to climb up to Cairn Pass this afternoon. We decided to get the tent out and put it on the horse rail over there for a few minutes while we're snacking. It's still wet from this morning. There's some landscaping for you. People would pay money for that. That's about 4 feet high and about 8 feet long. This is Medicine Tent Lakes. We're going to take a little 5-minute break. Still on our way up to Cairn Pass. Well, we have reached Cairn Pass. So Cairn Pass, 2,250 meters, the highest point on the South Boundary Trail. So there's a cairn up there, and story goes that back in 1859, James Carnegie, the 9th Earl of South Esk, traveled to the area from his native Scotland, and he and his guides climbed up there and erected a large cairn. It's about 6 or 8 feet tall, I think. And then in 2009, his great-great-grandson, the 13th Earl of South Esk, traveled to the pass and climbed up there and stood beside the cairn that his great-great-grandfather 150 years before had built. So pretty cool. One last view of Cairn Pass before we head further south down to Cairn Pass campsite. We are not lingering long here. It's +5 Celsius, so 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is breezy, so pretty harsh environment up here, but still beautiful nonetheless. Well, now that I told you that story, Trent and I just saw another cairn, or another rock pile. That one's to the left of the one we saw, so I don't honestly know where exactly it is. Looks like there's 2 of them up there. Anyway, I still love the story. I think that's pretty cool. We're making our way now down to Cairn Pass campsite, and it's early evening, so the colors are beautiful here. We have arrived, Cairn Pass campsite. This is really nice. This is a hiker horse camp. Lots of room. And yeah, it looks really nice here. So we'll get the tent set up and supper going, and then maybe a little campfire. Good morning. It's day 3, Tuesday morning, and we have slept in. We're not going to say what time we slept in till it's embarrassing. We woke up to the sounds of a thump, 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 and then we realized it was pine cones coming down from a tree, so there was a squirrel up in this tree. And he was busy this morning. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. It's probably about +3 or 4 right now. So we'll get breakfast going and keep moving. This is a nice view of the Cairn River Valley. We're descending. Another great day. It's 10 degrees Celsius right now, about 50 Fahrenheit. This is right on the side of the trail. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it looks like just a little bit of grizzly bear diggings. This is a cave a ways up on the west side on this ridge, up above Cairn River Valley. Beautiful morning here. I'm really enjoying the walk through the Cairn River Valley this morning. It's really nice. What I like is that the trail is not in the bottom of the valley itself. It's kind of up on the left side or on the east side, and so we're getting some nice views here of not only the valley itself but the floor of the valley, and I like it. It's a good walk right now. This is the Cairn River, and from my notes, we're going to go down along the left side of it. We're not going to ford it. We're going to stay on the left side, and we're looking for a cairn. We're looking for a large rock with small rocks on it, and that's where it is, right there. We have to aim for that, and then the trail reappears over there. So the trail would have got washed out in the floods of 2013. That ain't horse poop. This is a crossing of the Cairn River. You can see the yellow diamond marker on the tree there for northbound hikers. So we cross about 50 meters from here, and we're going to continue. You can see the cairn over there, and then I believe there's another ford probably in about 25 meters of a tributary stream that comes down from the east, and then we'll be back on the trail again. That ain't horse poop. More bear poop. We're just coming up on the junction with the Southeastern Lake Trail. We still have to ford the Cairn River to get to the campsite. Here's the view from camp in the fading light of the day. Impressive view of Mount Dalhousie. Great view from here. So after dinner we'll get some hot chocolates and the fire going and sit around the fire for a bit, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning, it's day 4, Wednesday morning. It's a beautiful morning, but it rained last night for probably an hour or two, and we think there's a little new dusting of snow up there on Mount Dalhousie. So about a kilometer south of Cairn River Campground now, we're fully into the Southesk burn. This was a fire that took place in 2006. It's not bad walking. I mean, there's obviously lots of down timber, but you can literally just step over them as you walk. You don't really have to stop and climb over them. So these lodgepole pines are now 15 years old, and it's great to see how the forest regenerates itself. So yesterday I was going to mention that Trent and I got lost just for a bit. I don't have GPS on this hike, so we got lost once for a few minutes, not long, 5 or 10 minutes, but we had to climb up from the river to find the trail. So literally had to bushwhack straight up the hill. And we thought of a new piece of exercise equipment. So we're gonna call it the Bushwhacker. And we're gonna bring it out in a novice, intermediate, and pro model. The pro model is just gonna be loaded to the nuts. It's gonna have everything. It's gonna have bushes and leaves falling down on you, branches scraping your face. Just an overall great workout. We're gonna make so much money. Check out this morning view. This is the Southesk River. So we've come to what I think is just a little tributary stream into the cairn, and you can see a little rock cairn there. And then if you look up the slope, you can see the trail angling up to the right, and you can see orange flagging on that tree. So that's the way we go, up and along this ridge. There's a yellow diamond marker over on the far side of this chasm. Trent's working his way over toward the yellow diamond marker. So plenty of signs here. Yellow marker up high, old sign underneath it, who knows what that said. Maybe a map, I don't know. And then the footbridge sign leading towards the South-esque suspension bridge.
This is why JJ and I come out here. This is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous.
Trent was just commenting on the fact that this is why we hike, and we were also just talking off camera that this might be top 10. I think it is top 10 as far as views go that we've ever experienced. And there is the bridge down below. That's our target for the next few minutes. Glad to see it's still there. Can you imagine the forest fire raging through here in 2006? Wow. There's another Warden patrol cabin off in the distance, but we have a long day today, so we're not going to go visit it. We're just coming up now on the suspension bridge over the South-esque River. We'll take a short break here and continue. That ain't horse poop. So we're going to stop here for a break, and then we'll continue on to Isaac Creek for tonight. That is horse poop. We spent the last few minutes in the trees, great trail, pine needles underfoot, nice walking. Come out to this view of the mountain range to the south and Tarpeian Rock across the valley there. So we're coming to the gravel flats at Isaac Creek. Now we just got to figure out where to go to find the campground on the far side. I know there's a yellow diamond marker on the far side leading to the campsite, and if we can find that guy, we know where we are. And now we found the yellow marker. So way over to the left of where we forded. We have arrived. Well, end of another great day on the trail. The views along the South-esque River, fantastic. Really windy up there on the ridge, but didn't matter. It was a cool day. I think the high was +6, and right now it's +2. So I think the forecast tonight is -7, and the high tomorrow I think is +5. So the weather has turned cooler. We're gonna have some mushroom risotto and then some cinnamon apple crisp, get a fire going, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning, it's day 5, it's Thursday. The crossing, the ford in just before the campsite yesterday was a little tricky finding the campsite. If I'm industrious, maybe I'll put up a crude sketch of that on the video. Today, we're hiking along the Brazeau River, pretty much a forest walk today. It depends on the weather, depends on how we're feeling. It's a long day, so we may stop and camp at Brazeau River campsite, which is 2 kilometers short of Brazeau Lake. And that would make tomorrow a bit longer, but oh well. So we'll just see how the day goes. We're coming up on a trail junction with a horse trail down below, and we will stay up to the right through the trees. We're coming up on the Arete patrol cabin, and what a great spot this is. So we're going to take a short break, sit on the front porch, if there is one. Wow, what a great spot. I guess if you're going to build a warden cabin, this would be a good place. We're just loading up on some water, and then we're going to continue west towards Arete campsite and then on to Brazeau Lake campsite where we'll camp tonight. And this is Hole in the Wall Springs, also known as Big Springs, coming right off that cliff. Start of fencing usually means a warden cabin coming up, and the Brazeau River patrol cabin is up ahead. That must be the feed, because there's electric fencing around the walls there to keep the grizzlies out. Here's the view from the front porch. How cool is this? March 3rd, 1978. March 4th, 1978. Wow. Looks like a bear ripped apart the book. October 1992. Okay, it's early evening. Brazeau Lake campsite. And such a great campsite. Trent and I arrived a few minutes ago, set the tent up, and we're just about to do dinner. It was a good day, valley walking, a lot of walking through the trees, but when it busted out of the trees, there were some fantastic views along the Brazeau River and some great views from the 2 warden cabins that we stopped at. So we're going to get some supper going, some dessert, and probably call it a night. I don't think we'll even have a campfire tonight. So we'll see you in the morning. Good morning, it's day 6, it's Friday, and we are cold. It was a cold night. I think the forecast was -7 last night, and it felt like it. We got another long day today. This is the 3rd one in a row, 25 kilometers or about 16 miles. We'll be heading from the lake up over Cairn Pass and then down to Waterfalls campground tonight. Interesting night last night. I woke up middle of the night to a loud crashing noise. I thought at first it was thunder, and then realized it was a tree that had fallen down on the edge of the campsite. So that was interesting. I will go find the likely culprit. We think we found the culprit. And our tent site is just over here, about 10 meters. Let's walk back down to the lake, show you the campsite. Lockers all over there, tables. We're just boiling up some water for breakfast and then we'll get going. This is Brazeau Lake. Somebody's put a stump out there to soak their little tootsies. You can't see all of it from here, but Brazeau Lake is one of the larger lakes in the backcountry. Not many backcountry campsites have a horseshoe pitch. So this bridge was built by the Flying Trail crew 2009. Pretty amazing work what these people can do. So thank you. This is a rock slide that happened, I think, back in the 1930s. And just out of interest, the trail that Trent and I are hiking on now was constructed in 1920 and 1921, so 100 years ago. Here's a bit more of Brazeau Lake. The color of the water is created by glacial silt. It's suspended in the water. That ain't horse poop. Woody woodpecker. Busy on this one. So that's Flat Ridge across the valley. I guess because it's flat. Trent and I have noticed a few large holes along the trail, and this could be from a hoary marmot colony, although we have not heard any noise from them or seen any of them, so who knows what happened to them. Maybe a grizzly bear came along and wiped them out, who knows. Looks like a pretty new sign. This is Cairn Pass, 2,300 meters. This is the highest point on our hike, and the rest of the way is all downhill. Downhill. Here's where we've come from. And here's where we're heading. So this is our first good view of Pobocton Creek, and we're going to follow this all the way out to the highway. As we get closer to Waterfalls campground, we are passing by this patrol cabin with some waterfalls. We have arrived. Yeah, Waterfalls campground. So we're gonna set up the tent real quick and get into some drier clothes and get supper going. I'm just going to show you Winter Wonderland before we call it a night here. So long, tough day today. 25 kilometers, I think about 16 miles. Pobocton Pass was tough at the top. It got really muddy from the snow that obviously they've had. We didn't get into camp here till 7 o'clock, and we got the tent set up real quick. It's already covered in snow, and we're cooking dinner under some trees here. The table would have been nice, but oh well. We're going to skip breakfast in the morning and just start walking. It's going to be a tough walk, obviously, with the snow on the ground. So we're going to call it a night. We'll talk to you in the morning. Good morning. It's day 7, Saturday. Time to leave. It snowed into the evening, and then sometime through the night quit snowing, but it rained all night. And the tent did its job. A little bit wet on the inside though. Maybe more from condensation, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna skip breakfast and we are out of here. Looks like puke and poop. We're just passing by Pobocton Campground and still on our way down to Pobocton Trailhead. 7.6 kilometers. The trail The trail is a mess. No surprise with all the snow and the rain. Well, we're coming up on the Sunwapta Warden Center, and you can see the highway bridge in the distance over there. This will mark the end of our journey. It has been a real adventure. Loved well, maybe not every minute of it, but loved it. This is such a great trail. Hopefully you'll hike it. So what a great adventure. 130 kilometers, 80 miles, 1 week of real adventure. It was awesome. I loved it. Great views, great scenery. The fords, fords are always interesting. I think we had 7 one day, probably 15 in total. Interesting campsites. It was nice to have campfires pretty much every night. We didn't the last 2 nights. We didn't see anybody on the trail after Sunday night at Medicine Tent. Still, all in all, a great trip. I highly recommend it. I hope you can get out there and hike it sometime. I want to thank Trent for hiking along with me.
Glad to be here.
I want to thank you for hiking along with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, smash it, and share it with your friends. Let them know that you hiked this trail with us. And subscribe for the next video. Would have been, and it was illegal 4 days ago, and subject to up to a $25,000 fine from this park. I want to thank Trent for hiking along with us.